Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So we're here today to make a random box. And um, if you noticed, I did not call this a box lunch series, and this is at 9 a.m. instead of noon. So some of the feedback that I received with my box lunch series was that people like to watch the video before they go to work and gather supplies so they can do the box at work. So that makes a lot of sense. So we're going to try this out. And we're going to have the Wednesday boxes come out Wednesday morning as opposed to Wednesday afternoon. So today's random box is going to be a pizza box style box. So get your purple book. Remember, I have 3 books now. I have my original fold flat box, my lidded box, and then the pizza box style. Full disclosure, I do not make a lot of pizza box style boxes, and so I struggle with these style boxes, and so I'm gonna keep that in the video. If mine comes out wrong, I'm sorry, but this is how we learn, repetition. My fold flat boxes I can do in my sleep. I can just envision it and do it. These ones I struggle. So anyway, let's go ahead and open our book to a clean page and measure our item, which it is roughly 1 3/4. And because it's a circle, it's going to be 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 by 3/4. All right. So 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 by 3/4. Okay. So the easiest thing you can do is go ahead and put your depth first. I like to put my left to right, my up and down, and my thickness is last. Okay. That's just how I write mine out in all of my books. Whatever you're more comfortable with, obviously do that. All right. So I know that all 4 of my sides need to be 3/4 of an inch, because that's how thick I need my box. And my spine has to be the same. So all of those are going to be whatever your third measurement, if you do left to right, up and down, and then thickness. So now for the pizza box style, the purple book, we only need to write our left to right one time, because we only need to calculate that one time. Okay. Now, we do need to write our up and down on both the top box and the bottom box, because if you don't, then your pizza box looks like a lidded box, because I forgot to calculate the bottom piece here. So, yeah. So we need to write that here, because we need to calculate that. And we need it here. Okay, so we need this to be 1 3/4, and we need this to also be 1 3/4, but we only need it one time to math out the measurements for that. Okay, that's a little confusing. I know. The other books, we do it backwards. I know, but this is how it is. I didn't come up with how to make these boxes. I just put it in a pretty little book. All right, so let's get some color pens out here, some pink and green. Now we're going to do our left to right first, okay? Because I do not make a lot of this style box, I have to circle my numbers. Circle your numbers if you have to, okay? It is very confusing sometimes what needs to be calculated into which calculation, okay? So when we're doing our left to right on the pizza box style, you need your left measurement here, you need your right measurement, and you need your left to right. So you only need 3 measurements, okay? Everything else we are not worrying about right now. Just the 3 that we circled. So let's go ahead and get our calculator. So just follow along. 0.75 plus 1.75 plus 0.75 equals 3 1/4 by. Okay, so now up and down. Your up and down, you are going to have 5 measurements that you need to calculate. Okay, so up and down. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so you need your top and your bottom flap, you need your spine flap, and you need your up and down for both sections. Okay, again, if you don't calculate your spine or one of these other measurements, it's going to be too short. So whatever your second color ink is, you should have 5 numbers circled. And let's just go ahead and calculate that. 0.75 plus 1.75 plus 0.75 plus 1.75 plus 0.75 equals 5 3/4. So 5 3/4. Okay. So pizza style box, your left to right will have 3 numbers. Your up and down will have 5. I don't know if that helps you. That helps me. You can even cheat. And in the cover of your book, you can write measurements. Left to right. 3 numbers. Up and down. 5 numbers. Actually, that's going to really help me a lot. So feel free to write that in there so that way you know when you're making any of your boxes, you have the correct numbers circled. Okay. All right. So, let's go ahead and do our score lines where we need to score. This is the long way how to do it. I will show you the shortcut when I do my scoreboard, but the long way I'll teach you first, and then you can decide if you want to do the shortcut. So we're looking at our 2 numbers. Which color is the biggest? That's our green, which is our up and down. So that's our long side. So if you need to turn your book, you can, but we need, our first score mark needs to be at 3/4. And now we need to add to that to get our second score line. So 0.75 plus 1.75. So 2.5 plus 0.75, because now we need to get this score line. So 3.25. And then you need your last score line, which is adding that 1 3/4 in, and that will be at 5. Okay. Something just fell, but I don't know what it was. This little ring thing. I don't know what it came off of. Right. Now our short side is our pink side. So we need 3/4 on both sides. So 3/4 and 5. Okay. Right. Let's go ahead and make our box. Yes, this is a super long tutorial for this box, but again, I have to talk it out to myself or it's not going to get done. I don't know what color cardstock I'm going to use, so I will just use white for the tutorial and go from there. I might be lying. I have no idea what I just did with my paper. Here it is. Okay, so I need a piece that is 3.25 by 5 3/4. Let's see. This is just a scrap here. By what? 3.25. I honestly don't know if this is going to work, so mathematically it works on paper, but in reality, Hakuna Matata. Right, so this is the cheater way. You can follow your score lines if you want to, or you know that all 4 sides need to be 3/4 inch. So just do, sorry, that's my calculator. I just do 3/4 inch on all 4 sides. For me, that is just easier. Oh no. But you can follow your score lines if you want to. Okay. Now, on the long side, we do need to follow this, which is going to be 2.5 and 3 1/4. And we already did our 5. So if you want to check your work, it matches. This side, let's see, let's check our work. So we have 3/4 and 2 1/2. So see, I messed up. Okay, which is fine. So 3/4 and 2 1/2. Okay. The measurements in the description box will be correct. So there we go. All right. I'm going to rescore this because I'm slightly off and that was user error. It wasn't a big deal, but what else? Right, let's take our scissors. Let me find. And what we're going to do is put the short side at the top and bottom and no, the long side at the top and bottom. I forgot we're doing a pizza style box. So long side at the top and bottom, and you want to go ahead and cut all of the score lines just up to the first score line. And you want to miter the corners. Okay. There we go. So for this one, only the squares, never the rectangles. Okay. So in the front of my book, I'm going to write score long side, score and cut, long side, top and bottom. And if you want to draw yourself a little picture, you can, like so. And then you're just going to, you know, put here, cut, 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 and miter. So I am a visual learner, and so for me, this makes so much sense. And so now when I get back here and I'm like, which side do I put on top and bottom? Okay, I'm going to cut the long side at the top and the bottom and then cut up the lines like that. So for me, that helps. I don't know if that helps you, but whatever little tips and tricks we have, I like to share. Because again, pizza style boxes are a little bit finicky for me personally. And you might love the pizza style box, and the other ones are finicky for you. Okay, so now we have something that looks like this. Let's go ahead and varnish our lines. If I had a bone folder, here we go, this will work. All right, here we go. Hopefully this box works. We had our one little hiccup where I didn't know what side to put on top and bottom, but that's okay. Okay, let's get these lines nice. As usual, you can varnish before you cut or after. It doesn't make a difference in the end. Okay. Excuse me. I'm going to cut the bulk. So I'm going to cut just a little tiny bit off each of my tabs. Again, this step is not a necessary step. This is just how I was taught, and how I was taught is what stays in my brain. So cut some of the bulk. Okay. So now I have it where the short side is at the top and the bottom. Now, if you have directional paper, you need to pay attention, okay? Look at your paper, fold it down. If your direction is correct, fold it down, then this is your top. Okay? If it's upside down, then you need to make this your top or turn your box to where you can make it directionally correct. If you're using cardstock, which I suggest for all boxes, unless you have a super heavy pattern paper, like an Echo Park or something, it doesn't matter. Okay? So, I just thought of something. I don't have glue. No idea where my glue is. So for this tutorial, I'm going to use tape runner. Use your glue or your tape, but I don't know where mine is. So I'm going to have to use tape runner. All right. So I did 4 tabs. If you're using glue, you can do 1 tab at a time. You can do 4 tabs at a time, however you want to do it. But you need to pull the bottom tabs up so you have your little half a tray. These 2 tabs need to be connected to your bottom box. So here we go. And bottom box and bottom box. Okay, so one of these tabs I forgot to miter. The whole reason why we miter is to prevent that. That is the only reason why we miter. So if you forgot to miter or you didn't miter enough, all you have to do is come in and just, the best you can, cut that little piece off. Or leave it there. No one's going to notice it. Okay? Alright, so now we need to go ahead and make the top of our box. So I'm pushing in my 2 tabs. I'm adding my glue or my strong adhesive, not a tape runner. And we're going to put those together. And our pizza box is done. Look at that. Perfect. If you want to make your finger pull. Oh, I know where my little punchies are. Yes, I just got super excited. Where's my little... Here's my tiny little circle. I'm just going to do half a circle here. Oh, it doesn't fit because it's a weird one. Alright, so I'm going to use this one, which is a flower or a little scallop circle. And I'm going to just do half. Just make a little bite mark. Use any size circle you want. It's just so that way you can put your thumb there so it's easier to open the top. Again, optional step. I think that's so cute, the little bite mark. So yeah, so our box is done. Now, once you're comfortable with these boxes, they do not take 18 minutes to make, okay? Once you get your measurements sorted out, you're going to make them super fast, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video here for myself, find the paper that I want for my project, and I will keep the camera running so that way you can see in real time how, once you get your measurements, how fast the boxes are. So if you want to see that, continue with the video. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope you make these boxes. Oh, these little makeup containers came from Amazon. So I got them years and years and years ago. If I can find them on Amazon again, I will link it in the description box. All right, so those of you who are ready to go, thanks for watching. Those who want to watch real time, 1 second. Okay, so I picked white, but I'm using 110-pound cardstock. And I found my glue, but I did not wash my little tip out before I packaged it up. And so now all the glue is stuck in there. And how I'll take care of that is just running it under hot water. So, it'll be fine. I'll just soak it probably overnight. It will be fine. I do not have a trash can. All right, this is going to be a trash bin. All right, so we need 5 3/4 by 3 1/4. So if I stop talking, you did not lose audio. It's just I'm not talking. By 3/4. by 3 1/4. And then this one, so you can get 3 of these boxes out of one piece of paper, which is great because I need 3. Okay, so cheater way, I'm going to do 3/4 on all 4 sides. Again, this is just how I find it easier. If you want to go through and do each individual score mark, you can. Okay. All right. I do need this. So I'm going to go ahead and do all 3. So 3/4, rotate, 3/4, rotate, 3/4, rotate, 3/4. Last one. 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, and 3/4. So Kathy Orta King came out with like the best tip today on your, like when you're scoring your, or cutting, scoring and or cutting. Make sure you pay attention to where your paper ends up on your lines. So I need to score at 2.5 and 3 1/4. So 2.5. So this is what she was saying. If you can see the line on this one, the next one you need to be able to see the line as well. Watch her video. She explains it so much better. 2.5 and 3 1/4. Long side 2.5 and 3 1/4. Long side 2.5 and 3 1/4. Okay. All right. Long side on the top and bottom. Scissors. Cut and miter. Miter. Bulk. Okay. Score line. Score line. Miter, miter, bulk, score line, miter, miter, bulk. Okay, score line. I'm just going to go ahead and do all of my score lines. And again, I could have varnished first and I would have been able to see my lines a little better, but okay, now I'm going to miter all of them. And I'm going to bulk them, or debulk them. Somebody told me they prefer to debulk before mitering. Hey, do you? Whatever you're comfortable with is fine with me. All right. All right, let me go ahead and do the other 2, but I want different scissors because those scissors just annoyed me. And now big scissors are going to annoy me too. But I don't know. I have a sensory thing. So if it annoys me, I can't use it anymore. Okay. And and these scissors are not it either. Let me try these. Yep, this is why I have so many pairs of scissors, because I get in these moods where my favorite scissors aren't my favorite scissors today. So it is what it is. All right, so you see we're about to have 3 boxes in less time than what it took for 1 box. Once you get your measurements, these boxes are so super easy to put together once you remember where to cut. If you forget where to cut, please message me and I will help you out as best as I can. I do get those messages occasionally, like, hey, I'm trying to do this box. I don't remember, you know, where to cut. Where should my tabs be? Send me a message and I will help you as best as I can. Because it is overwhelming. But the more boxes you make, the less overwhelming it would be. So we'll probably do a lot more pizza style boxes because this is the box that I really need practice on. Because as you saw earlier, I momentarily forgot which side needs to be top and which side needs to be bottom. So it is what it is. I'm only human. Okay, I can't do that anymore. There we go. Yes, I know. This freaks people out when I cut without my thumb in the thumb thing. I don't know. I'm more comfortable without my thumb in there. I try my best to cut with my thumb in the thumb hole for the tutorials because it freaks people out. I don't know. All right, let me find that bone folder or something. Here we go. This little squeegee thing, I was at my mother-in-law's house and she had it in her drawer. It was from, I think, like the power company or something. I don't know. It was like for a decal, a window decal they wanted you to put up. And I was like, oh, can I have that for my craft room? She's like, yeah, go for it. It's like the best squeegee ever. It's the little things, guys. Everything can work in the craft room. All right, there we go. All right, so you guys can see with the glue how I do it. 110-pound cardstock, you really need to score and, oh, that is way too much glue. You really need to score and varnish because it is a, oh no, it is a thicker cardstock. All right, so let's go ahead and get this ton of glue on here. It's because, oh, I only have that nozzle. Okay, this is on my hands and I cannot deal with this. Oh, yay. I have my little towels right here. I don't like dirty hands. I can't deal with it. Okay, so we still have our other 2 here, and these need to go on the bottom. And this last one. Okay, line it up. Clean it. Okay, so we're good. Crisis averted. These 2, easy on the squeezy. I used to love that nozzle, but now it's giving entirely too much glue out. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to cut this little nubby thing off. This is what Kathy calls them. Nubbies. Alright. Alright, we're good. Let's do our other ones. Sometimes I put too much pressure and I like rip the 110-pound weight, which is crazy because this is very strong paper. And this one, yeah, varnishing is not my favorite part. It probably would be a lot easier if I varnish before I cut, but for me, it's easier to see where to cut before it's burnished, because it's like still indented. Where's my other box? Right here. To see how it's still indented. When you varnish, it's no longer indented. Now it's like both sides are bumpy sides. And for me, that's just harder to cut. So you're going to do what makes you comfortable and successful. And I'm going to do what makes me comfortable and successful. All right. I can't even remember if I put the jar thing in there to see if it even fit. I really hope so. Because if not, I just made 3 boxes that I don't need. Okay, and here we go. All right, so basically that is it with the boxes. And they're even faster when obviously you're not talking to yourself on a tutorial. But I'm trying to show you every step and kind of making sure I'm, for the most part, in frame. If you're doing these by yourself, they probably take about maybe 5 minutes per box. I don't know. So there's this one. Okay, I gotta let that dry. And then let's do this last one, and that's it, guys. I will decorate, you know, all by myself, and you guys will see the end results on a different video, because to be honest, it is 10:30 at night and I am tired. I've been unpacking all day and I had to go to the car dealership today and I had to do a bunch of errands, so I'm wiped. So I'm surprised I even made a tutorial this late at night. Alright, so here we go. Easy with the squeezy. I was really going to do all 6 flops right now, but I feel like by the time I get to the top, it'll dry. Just make sure you're lined up properly. Which I am not on this side. It's because there's too much glue. Okay, there we go. Now we're lined up properly. Last 2. Alright, guys. There you have it. And thanks for watching. Bye. In a second. I gotta hold my glue. Bye, guys.